everyone, it's Jessica. Thanks for watching with me today. So today I'm really excited to continue using my June Hip Kit Club, and I have these really cute photos of my son. His new favorite thing is to pull the hose outside and make a giant mud puddle and just play with his trucks and cars in it. And I thought that the photos here would go perfectly with some of the papers in the June Hip Kit Club. Now, in my last video, I used that top layout as an inspiration, and when I was pulling my photos, I realized that actually they would work perfectly with that bottom sketch there. It worked out perfectly. So I pulled some green cardstock from my stash, and then these are the 3 pattern papers from the June collection that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this dark blue part here on this side of this paper, and then I really love this multicolored one here. I think it's meant to kind of represent like a subway line or like a map for, a subway direction, but it looked like hoses to me. And since he's playing with the hose, that was going to work out well. All right, I used my best guess to cut these papers looking like that sketch. And so that one I have cut at 3 by 9. The dark blue is cut to 1 1/4, and then I used 3/4 of an inch for that lighter blue strip. And then I also cut a circle on my Cricut at 5 inches. So I'm going to trim these longer strips down here. I want this dark blue one a little bit shorter than the light blue, and I will dovetail it by just putting a little slit in the middle and then coming from corner to corner to add that dovetail end, and I'll pop that back in here. And then I did also mat my base on that same green colored paper, which of course I did gut out so that I could save the middle. But I do have a really thin green border around my white base page. Before I get anything glued down, I will use some coordinating ink colors to edge distress around all of them. And then for the orange circle, I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of different kind of distressing. One of my favorite things to do with white core cardstock is to use a sanding tool and just scratch off the color and reveal that white core. I really love the distress of this look, and it is a layout about my son getting messy and dirty and playing outside, so it seemed kind of appropriate to just do a little bit of extra distressing there. I love the look there, so I'll do that for the orange circle. And then I do have 4 photos, and that sketch calls for 2. So I'm going to use a flip flap from Close to My Heart, which will give me room to put 4 photos on this layout, even though I really have the real estate just for 2. I do like to glue my 2 pictures together that are going to be in the flip flap. That way they don't kind of shift around when they're in that little pocket. So I'll get those ones tucked in there, which means that the other 2 are going to get glued down to the photo mat. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that when it comes to flip flaps, I do like to adhere them directly to my layout, and then I just cut a slit in my page protector and feed them through. That way they're still interactive outside of my page protector. But because of the way that this picture is going to sit on this photo mat, I felt like it might be a little tricky to try to stick it down first and then do that. So this might be one of the occasions where I put my flip flap on just a little bit differently from normal. I'm going to attach it to the outside of my page protector once I finally have this into a scrapbook. So for right now, I'll just kind of leave those 2 photos loose in that flip flap, and then like I said, I'll pull off that adhesive and attach it directly to my page protector when I get to that point. Okay, so before I glue the pictures down, I've got the other stuff glued down. I think I want to add a little bit more of that kind of distressed, messy look, again, to go along with the subject of the photos here. I pulled out some of my Dina Wakley gloss spray in the dark night color, and I'm just flicking some of that onto this layout to look a little bit like blue mud splatters. It is so funny. My son just absolutely loves to do this, and he just creates a giant mud puddle multiple times a day. And so I thought for a title, boy plus mud equals happiness would work out well. I know I have somewhere in my stamp stash a plus and an equal sign, so I'm going to do that, stamp that on. But I used the thickers that came with the June kit to put that title on. And then I think I'm going to do a little bit of hand stitching around the perimeter of my circle. Okay, I'm looking at the embellishments that came with the main kit. I do like this little chipboard frame. I think I might tuck that somewhere over here behind my photo. I'm going to set that to the side for now. And then another thing that came with the main kit was a rub-on piece. And so I actually haven't used rub-ons in, I don't know, like 20 years or something. So I was really excited about this. I'm like, oh, this is kind of different for me. And I think it would be cool to take some of these colorful arrows, or they're like kind of like the sideways V looking arrows, and put those onto my page. Here's where my cat Petunia decided that she really wanted to help out, and I could not get her to move. She was like, nope, this is my video. Here you can see I've gone ahead and done that hand stitching around the circle, and now I am ready to get the photos down in that chipboard frame and then put the rub-ons on. I wanted to make sure that I had that stitching done first before I got some other stuff in the way here. I'm going to trim down this frame just because I don't need it all back there, and I did put a little bit of fun foam behind my photos to pop it up, and I thought that it would be a little wobbly if I had that extra layer of dimension behind the fun foam too. So I just kind of cut it strategically so that it would all kind of lay flat and nicely. Again, you can see Petunia is determined to make this her video. She really was just like, what's going on here, Mama? I want to see what's happening, and I want to lay right across your layout. Which is fine. I like it when my cats join me, although then I find that I have cat hair all over my desk and flying through the air, and then it gets stuck in my adhesive, and I have to make sure I don't have bits of cat hair stuck down to my layouts. Does anyone else have that problem if you have pets in your scrapbooking room with you? All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the photos adhered down now that I have that hand stitching done. And let's see here. Make sure I put it on straight. I did want to do that stitching too, just to make sure that the frame wasn't going to go over top of any of the stitching. Okay, here comes the rub-on part. Now I did cut out a different piece that I figured I wouldn't use, and I practiced first on a scratch piece of paper because, again, it's been so long since I've done a rub-on. I was like not really sure I remembered how to do it, but it was easy enough. So I just cut out the pieces that I wanted, and then I used that little stick that came with it and rubbed it right onto my paper, and I probably went over it more times than was necessary, but I wasn't sure like how fast does it rub it onto the paper. I was scared to like lift it up and have it be too soon and mess it up, but it came out perfectly. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side of happiness. So here you can see what that looks like when it is all done. And I did also put a little bit of liquid glue behind my thickers just to make sure that they were really stuck down well. Here you can see I pulled out that stamp set that has the plus sign and the equal sign to finish off my title. And then I'm going to use some of the enamel dots and stickers that came with the kit. And I think I'm going to go with this bright green lime color because it kind of matches my photo mat and is like a nice pop of color against that orange. I mentioned in my last video that I really love how these have different shapes to them, but the one thing that I struggle with is that they're all about the same size. So once I got these two X's up here, I was like, well, I want to put a third dot down somewhere, but I don't have any more X's and I don't have anything in a smaller size. So I think I ended up going with a heart down in the bottom corner of that circle just to make the visual triangle. So I'll put that probably right about here, popping off of that white background. Okay, and then you can see I've stamped some journal lines underneath my photos as well. And when I went back to the sketch, I noticed that they did have, it looked like some stitching lines all the way across the perimeter. I was kind of done with my hand stitching on this layout at this point, so I used a border stamp that I had in my stash and some dark blue ink just to stamp around instead, and I like the way that that looked. So that's going to be it. Again, I am so excited for this Hip Kit Club. I am new to this, and I just keep looking for more photos that I have that I can use to play with it. I just think that it is a lot of fun, and I haven't been this excited about something in quite a while, so stay tuned. I'm sure I will have even more videos coming up for you that feature the June Hip Kit Club. So thank you for being here with me, and I hope you've been inspired. I'll see you next time. Happy crafting, guys. Bye.